Welcome back, everybody. Time for Ask the Expert. Robillard Hearing Center's JB Robillard is here to answer your questions about hearing-related issues today. Now, maybe your issue, maybe someone you know, maybe your spouse or someone in your family, but we can answer any and all questions regarding hearing-related issues today. 613-789-6559, extension 2803. You can also email us, ottawa.morning@ctv.ca, or even ask questions on Facebook or Twitter, whatever works for you today. All right? Okay, that's a tiny hearing aid, JB. It's tiny.
It certainly is.
Yeah, welcome back to the show, by the way.
Thanks very much.
Happy New Year and all that.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is some of the latest technology?
It is. And what we're seeing actually is a trend back to this style of hearing aid. What we've had previously was the RIC design, the instrument which actually goes behind the ear,
yes,
with a small dome that goes inside the ear canal, and that's a generic style. That's a style that's not custom formed, custom made for your ear canal.
Right.
But however, with the new technologies, what we're seeing is the circuitries are getting smaller and smaller. They're getting more complex.
So there's my index finger.
That's right.
Here's a better picture.
There's a better picture of it. So the red would be a more conventional hearing aid, which is a CIC hearing aid.
Gotcha.
And whereas the black is the latest development, it's the IIC. And so that instrument is just inserted just a few millimeters away from the eardrum.
So it's really deep into the canal, right?
That's right. Very, very deep, yeah. And completely invisible as well.
Is it placed there kind of permanently? Or?
No, it's not. You remove it.
Do you remove it every day?
You do, yeah. You remove it at night. It's easy to insert and remove.
Is that what this is for?
That's it, exactly.
There's a little...
a little
looks like
wire.
A piece of fishing wire.
That's it, exactly.
Yeah, and it's there so you can get it in and out.
Mm-hmm. Right? That's how you manage it.
Yeah.
Now, although it's very small,
there it is. There's that thing there.
That's it.
So that's how you get it in and out of the. Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Yeah, actually, and what's what's really interesting about the product as well is the technologies that it uses, and so it utilizes all the most recent developments, such as speech preservation, just a very sophisticated noise reduction system.
Right.
And a lot of the research that's coming forth is suggesting that this style of hearing aid is probably the most beneficial. So what it does essentially is it doesn't distort your natural localization cues. When basically.
What do you mean by localization cues?
Well, what your outer ear and your ear canal is responsible for is, your brain learns to localize sound by just the acoustical properties that the ear and the ear canal provide. Mm-hmm. Now, when you fit a hearing aid, what happens is you distort those natural properties. With this style of hearing aid, it actually takes advantage. It doesn't distort because it's so deeply inserted into the ear canal, so it doesn't distort your natural hearing characteristics.
Gotcha.
And it takes advantage of it, and there's no hearing loss as well that's created by the insertion.
It's been tough up to this point to match those individual characteristics, I would guess, right? Because of the location and what the hearing aid is doing.
That's right. And I mean, for instance, I mentioned the RIC, the hearing aid that goes behind the ear.
Yeah.
So of course the input of sound is changed. Rather than being the ear canal, it's now the microphones are actually behind the ear.
Yeah.
So what we've had to do is introduce an artificial directionality. So meaning the instrument now has a digital focus, a digital directionality.
Right.
However, it's with this style of hearing aid, we're using just your natural directionality.
And which is part of the reason for that not just the size and the technology, but the location of the device?
Primarily the location. That's right. That's
because nothing matches. What this does, right?
That's right. There's nothing better than your own natural directionality. That's right. And then, unfortunately, that to a certain extent is lost with certain style of hearing aids.
Right.
And so this instrument here, there's really that isn't an effect.
It's like good real estate, right? Location.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Now you recently got back, and this is some of the things you checked out at a conference in the States, right? That is basically talking about the latest and greatest in technology.
That's right. I was in Vegas, and we had an innovation exposition.
Yeah.
And basically what they were doing, or what was being presented, is just a variety of research within our field. And a lot of it was, again, pointing back to this technology, the benefits of an invisible in the canal hearing aid of this style.
Right.
And also what this instrument also offers, and again, this is a new development, is speech preservation and noise, which is really key in our industry. It's, you know, you can almost say it's like the holy grail. You know, it's something that manufacturers have been working towards for some time.
Right. Not only the idea of being able to hear things as naturally as you would with your own ear, but the ability to speak in the same fashion as you would.
That's right.
And the ability to limit the noise that filters in because of electronic devices and so on, right?
Yeah. Well, what happens is someone that has a long-standing hearing loss, what commonly develops is a diminishment in the ability of processing sounds. So that means they're very susceptible to background noise.
Right.
And so,
and that poses a problem a lot of times.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
That's typically why people come and see us, is because they're having difficulty hearing in groups and so forth. That's right. So a new technology that's come forth is speech preservation in noise. So previously we've had noise reduction systems, but the problem with these noise reduction systems, they didn't improve audibility or comprehension in noise. They improved comfort, but they unfortunately they also reduced the conversation that you wanted to hear. And with this new technology, and that's offered in this hearing aid, it preserves that speech by up to 10 decibels, which is very significant.
Yes, indeed. Okay, we can talk more about the technology and what it all means, and we'll take a break because we want to get people on the telephone to ask some questions or via email, what have you. There's the information to get in touch with us this morning. 613-789-6559, extension 2803 is the telephone number. Email us ottawa.morning@ctv.ca. You can Facebook a question, you can tweet us a question, but have yourself an opportunity to ask those questions. JB Robillard is here from Robillard Hearing Centers. More of Ask the Expert coming right up.